Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, to the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So come with me while we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Julep Venue. Julep Venue is one of San Diego's largest and multi-purpose event spaces, featuring bright and expansive main hall with high gabled ceilings and 12,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor space. For all of your event planning needs, Julep has got you covered. On today's episode, we start our show on location at Trilogy Financial offices in Carmel Valley with our financial experts, Fernandez, Brinkkord, and Gary Sussman. We talk about how to inflation-proof your life. Next, we spotlight a neighborhood we love, Bay Park. We take you to the Cordova Bar, a hidden gem and neighborhood cocktail bar you need to visit ASAP. Trilogy Financial has become a nationwide firm with clients from coast to coast. Their clients have over $3.6 billion in brokerage and advisory assets. Served through Trilogy and their staff, they have grown to over 70 comprehensive advisors. Today, we sit down with Windus and Gary to give you tips on how to inflation-proof your life. Watch this. We have our financial experts on the show today, Windus Fernandez, Brinkkord, and Gary Sussman from Trilogy Financial Services. Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for having us again.
Well, actually, you're having us. So today, you guys, we're very excited to be on location at their offices in Carmel Valley. We're taking over today and watching them at work. So thank you guys so much for hosting us in your location today.
It's awesome. Since we just had it refreshed, new carpet, new paint, it's nice to have you guys here.
We love it. Okay, so we are going to dive into a great topic today. But before we do, I want to ask you guys a question since we are on location. What's a typical day like for you guys as financial planners? Because you've been in this business for a long time.
Both of us have been in this industry for more than 20 years. And I'll speak from, I have a lot of client meetings on a daily basis. So a lot of it is client engagement, making sure our clients are putting eyes on their money, addressing if they have any concerns. Maybe they've just had a major life event, helping them address how to change that from a financial planning standpoint. And sometimes it's just like a nice check-in to make sure everything is going on the right path.
I know if you see Windus, she's always on her phone or on her computer. What about you, Gary?
Yeah, very much the same. Just really finding ways to support our clients, supporting the team. But I think just being proactive, in terms of looking out for people's finances, knowing that a lot of our clients don't pay close attention, so they rely on us to be the eyes and ears and keeping them informed.
Yeah, you guys are very involved with your clients. We love that. Okay, so we're going to dive into our hot topic today. How to inflation-proof your finances. I didn't know that was possible, but you guys are going to help us with this today. So obviously, you guys, as the cost of living rises, households worldwide are feeling the squeeze. Inflation impacts everything from the groceries that we're buying, to housing, to healthcare. And families are really struggling to make ends meet as they stretch their budgets to the limit. I mean, hello, have you been to Sprouts lately? I'm stretching my budget at Sprouts every time I go shopping. So I wanted to ask you, how are you guys seeing inflation impacting your clients?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, well, it's across the board really, because regardless of who you are, you've got to fill up your car, you've got an electric bill, you got to go to the grocery store. So I haven't really spoken to a client that has said they aren't noticing it. Mm-hmm. Some people might be on a tighter budget, and that really forces you to make some decisions in terms of what you should buy and not. So really just helping people not get to the point where they got to put things on a credit card, because with the interest rates on those, you're getting hurt on both ends, and that can be damaging.
And what I'm talking to clients a lot about is making sure they're keeping tabs on their budget on a monthly basis to see if it really is impacting them. So your grocery bill went up, but did you happen to get a raise? Did the raise offset that? Or was the raise not significant enough for you to keep up with that? So in that case, what adjustment do we need to make? And then you're dealing a lot with people who do want to put work into their house. And we were talking about the cost of lumber earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And now to get a home equity line to do that work, you're looking at a 9% interest rate, which is a much different ballgame than when we were looking at 2% interest rates, 3% interest rates. So it's a little bit of a lot more attention around the planning on a monthly basis.
Yeah, we were talking about stats because you guys know I love my stats. So according to the National Association of Home Builders, lumber has increased by more than 167% since April of 2020. So building, renting, renovating, I mean, rent prices in San Diego obviously are through the roof. And some of the things that we know how we got there is some of the things that I think like I hear a lot is like supply chain disruptions. COVID-19 caused a lot of disruptions in supply chains, leading to shortages of goods and raw materials. You know, there's designers out there that are struggling, clothing manufacturers. So I think we're really feeling the impact. But the good news is we have you guys here to help to make us feel better. So you guys have tips for us. So let's start. How can we navigate inflation? So I heard that you guys can calculate your inflation rate, which I was blown away by, right? Personal inflation rate.
So we talk to clients about what the average rate of inflation is, because there's inflation today, and then there's the average rate of inflation over a 30-year period of time. And if you're too reactive to changing someone's financial plan and adjusting all of the inflation rate to today's inflation, you might be misrepresenting the impact of inflation over time.
Okay.
So it's also balancing out today versus what it's going to be like in 10 years, which obviously we don't know, but we can go back 10, 20, 30 years and help have a conversation about what inflation rate we should be using for your long-term planning versus what inflation rate we might be using for your short-term planning. Because planning for something in 3 to 5 years is going to be a different inflation rate than what you might be experiencing when you're looking out for retirement.
Right, and you guys can review like bank and credit card statements and bills and things like that, right, to help with that. And that kind of goes into the mix of that. Mm-hmm. I love that. All right, well, I didn't know about that. So your personal advisor can help you with that. So what about like another thing we talked about was creating a cash management strategy, right? So that's going to allow you to preserve your purchasing power and help, right, with that on that front.
Yeah, so just, I think it's thinking ahead and not making impulsive decisions with things you may not necessarily need, more of the wants, because if you don't have a good strategy, then inevitably, you don't have all the money to pay for it, and then, you're going to be paying that off over a period of time on the credit card, and, that's going to just make things far more difficult. So, we always preach having a plan, but, more so today, really being thoughtful about what you're spending your money on and making sure you have enough to spend on the essentials.
Well, and like diversifying cash holdings, right? So like inflation index bonds or money market funds or alternative investments, right? Is that anything to think about now?
I mean, 5 years ago, you were getting 0% on your cash. We have not seen 5% in money market accounts since the early 2000s. Like literally since I started in my career, have we seen interest rates this significant? So cash is becoming its own asset, and it hasn't been an asset for a long time for clients. So it's something to consider, making sure that your bank money is not just sitting in a 0% checking or a 0% savings. If you have your emergency fund tucked away in a high yield money market account, you're actually getting a good return on it.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, okay, and I know a lot of people are traveling, so we had some questions about summer traveling tips. Like I know with inflation, is there something that people can do?
Plan ahead for your vacation.
Or maybe even it's about delaying a vacation. I know everyone wants to get away, but at the same time, peak season, you're paying peak prices. So maybe thinking about taking it a little bit later on in the year, when not everyone's trying to do the same thing, can allow you to maybe even have a more enjoyable vacation financially and avoiding the crowds.
And I always talk to Windus about the funsies. We always talk about the funsies because she's very...
I like the winsies.
The winsies and the funsies. We should coin that. That's really good. But having like a vacation fund, right? Like you said, don't, plan ahead.
Right, but I have found airfare to be a little bit more expensive in your planning. So this is a good opportunity to say, especially if you live in San Diego, like a staycation in San Diego, there's tons of opportunities. There's a lot of things that you can do where you're not adding in that extra airfare for a family of 4 or more. That can be a cost prohibitive right now.
Right. Okay. Well, good. But we like the funsies, so you want to have funsies too. And then maybe you recommend an appropriate allocation, or you would recommend with your clients maybe something else they can invest in or something.
Well, asset allocation is always really important for people. And I know we're talking a little bit more on the short-term side, but also making sure that your long-term retirement assets are not too conservatively invested.
Okay.
If you're too conservatively invested in your long-term assets, what you're going to do is create a situation where you have to save that much more to reach the same goal. And bonds have been a more challenged asset in the last year. They haven't done as well as stocks, especially in the last 6 months. So it's addressing your allocation is critical.
Yeah, and I'd say the time to beat inflation is when inflation is not high. I think everyone's really focused on that right now, but inevitably, take advantage of the times when inflation is low and have your money working extra hard for you then, because you get in a much larger spread. Right now, the spread is a lot narrower. So I think it's more still the long-term plan and the long-term allocation versus focusing on what's happening right now.
Which goes back to having a more proactive approach to your financial planning, not reactive. So everyone comes to us in a reactive situation. Oh, now there's inflation, what do I do? But we could have been structuring and preparing for this.
Make your money work for you, right? That's what we want to do. So what about reviewing insurances, right? I know insurance is kind of a funny little topic right now in California, but you like to review everything that your clients have in place, right?
Right. I do think that sometimes people get stuck 20 years in the same insurance company. Oh, I'm so loyal. But, when it comes down to it, the insurance company does not experience the same loyalty for you as you do for the insurance company. I think making sure that you're educated on your options, that your coverage is still appropriate as your estate and your life changes. If you need an umbrella policy, having that reviewed and understanding how that's going to work. And when you get a big insurance increase, making sure you do shop across other carriers to see if there's any benefit to you, if another carrier can match your coverage.
So shopping is important too.
Absolutely.
I think that's important.
I'm not saying you have to do this every year, but I think doing it every few years to make sure you're in the right homeowner's policy is a good idea.
And you guys have resources too for clients. So you work with a lot of people that you can refer for that as well, and you do some things as well.
We do the life insurance side and making sure that they're not underinsured and their family is protected. But we partner with property and casualty insurance agents to have the other stuff reviewed.
It sounds like they just need to meet with you to really sit down.
Of course.
You need to come meet with these guys. Yeah. But is there anything that you would say, like maybe a final tip?
Well, prolonged inflation can have a severe impact on one's overall financial plan. So we're hoping that inflation gets under control and we get back to where we were. And if that's the case, I think we'll be okay. But if we don't correct course, then it can have a very impactful result in people's financial plans. So through our planning process, we do have the ability to include certain other assumptions. If people are really concerned about higher inflation for longer, we can show them what that looks like and then help them plan today.
I love it. Well, you guys meet with them. You guys do a free consult, and we were actually here in their office today. So they are at 12520 High Bluff Drive, Suite 140, and then go to the website. We'll have all the information for you guys. And I just want to say thanks for having us today and just making us feel better about our finances.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
For more information and to schedule a consult with Windus and Gary, you can go to trilogyfs.com. Don't touch that remote, because when we come back, we take you inside the Cordova Bar.
We're here at Julep Venue for the Harvest Kitchen, Snake Oil Cocktail Company, and Julep Open House.
Welcome to our Here Comes the Sun party. We're unveiling some new stations. Everyone's having a good time. Snake Oil Cocktails, doing some drink pairings with all my food. Just want everybody to have an incredible time. Welcome and enjoy. We've got Harvest Kitchen doing incredible food. Right. We've got cocktails with Snake Oil Cocktail Company. I think we're having a good time. I'm having a good time. Jack's having a good time. Why aren't you here? Cool venue, great cocktails, great food. You can't do better than that.
Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse, and we are taking you inside Paramount. It's their second year here at Comic-Con, and we can't wait to take you inside. Are you ready? Let's do it.
You and me together, we could be anything, anything. You and me together, we could be.
I'm here with the fabulous ladies for Ink Master. How are you?
We are excellent. How are you doing?
So excited. Are you excited to be here this year?
Absolutely. Could not wait.
So what are you guys doing in here? You're going to be putting tattoos on everyone?
Yes, very permanent tattoos.
Okay. So come down to Ink Master and get your tattoos.
Yes, we are doing cosmetic grade temporary tattoos, but we have some great things from Paramount so you can get your favorite shows and show them off. But yeah, come visit us at the lodge. We'll get you tatted up.
Okay, and what's your names?
My name is Michelle.
Michelle and
Ruth.
Okay, we're going to get tats now. See you. Bye.
I can take it, I can take it, I can take your pain away.
Happy 25th.
From you.
The Gilded Age has been very popular, so is the Trevor's Wall Street sensation has also been very popular.
Welcome back to The Pulse. I'm your host, Cindy Matalucci. We love spotlighting the different neighborhoods in San Diego, and one of our favorites is Bay Park. It was ranked San Diego's #1 most livable neighborhoods in San Diego's recent readers poll. It's as local as it gets, and many of the business owners here are people who live here. Speaking of community feel and pride of ownership, we introduce you to Lauren Moore and her team at the Cordova Bar and show you why this must be the place for you to visit. Check this out. Hey everybody, it's Cindy Matalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. We are here at a hidden gem in Bay Park, one of our favorite spots, the Cordova Bar. I'm here with owner Lauren Moore. How are you?
Hi Cindy, how are you?
I'm so happy to be here. We love this place.
Thank you for being here. We're really excited to have you guys.
We're so excited to talk about everything about the Cordova Bar. But before we get into it, I want to talk about your story because you are no stranger to the bar industry.
No, I am not. It's been quite a journey for the last 15 years. Started grassroots down in the gas lamp. I would consider us maybe pioneers of that time with the Confidential.
Well, industry experts, every place that you work on turns to gold. I just love it. I want to talk about your inspiration for Cordova Bar because it's such a vibe. I mean, what was your inspiration?
So, funny story about Cordova is that I went to USD, just right up the hill, and I used to come here in my very younger days, maybe even with a fake ID, if you will, to this when it was the Marina Club. A very different scene, very divey at the time. Pool table, grilled cheese sandwiches, warm Bud Light pitchers. So it does hold a very near and dear place in my heart. But when we took this over, we kind of just wanted something a little more approachable, kind of leaning into our downtown roots of our nightclubs, a little more of a higher aesthetic, but definitely still San Diego vibe, approachable.
What can people expect when they come to Cordova Bar?
Oh, I think primarily just the hospitality. I don't know about you, but it seems to be a little bit of a loss of art these days, depending on where you go. But our staff is like no other. We're gonna always welcome you home first thing when you come in. We are just very happy to see you, and you're gonna sense that right when you get in there. You're gonna feel very special. You're gonna feel very welcome when you get into Cordova.
Well, it's a community vibe too.
Yes.
It's very community oriented, I feel like, with everybody working together in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. All the gems on the street, we're all such a good neighborhood feel, and so that clientele really does share that sentiment when they come in here.
You guys are known for your elevated cocktails and the experience and the names of the cocktails. I mean, I think you have Naked and Famous, Velvet Dragon. So what would you say about the inspiration for the cocktails?
I mean, each of our cocktails, you know, we want the name to reflect kind of what the expectation is of the cocktail. We have such good partnerships with all of our vendors. We have such good relationships with all of our spirit companies. Those names will really reflect a little bit of the personality of the drinks, for sure.
I love them. They're all so good. There's something for everyone every night of the week.
Yes.
So there's nightly events. So talk to the viewers a little bit about what you guys offer.
You said it perfectly, a little something for everybody. We try to do something a little different every night of the week. We are open Tuesday through Sunday. We do karaoke on one night. We have R&B, Hawaiian vibe, ukulele artists on Wednesdays. We do some rotating artists, a vinyl market on Thursdays. We have a funk jam band, which is something that I really haven't seen anywhere else in San Diego, where you can come in with your voice, you can come in with your instrument, you can jam with our Cordova house band. We have rotating local DJs. On Fridays, we highlight our martinis. So
Martini night,
yeah,
our
martini night's
favorite.
great. We do offer all of our specialty cocktails at a discounted price. And Saturdays is just a full-on dance party. We have great DJs. That whole dance floor becomes jammed with people having a good time. Sundays, we do our live music. We're always doing live bands on Sundays, so you can always expect that. We really like to reinvent ourselves every night of the week.
Well, and you have food trucks that you work with that you bring in as well.
Yes, we do. Right now, we're working with Barrio Bros. They are an amazing smash burger. They are with us every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And my goal is to have some pop-ups like every day of the week that we're open in the near future.
I love that. The other thing about this place, because it's so spectacular, you can actually book this for a private event.
Absolutely.
So we have to talk about that.
Yeah, so you can visit our website anytime, and it will direct you to our event site where you can fill out all the information of the perfect evening or day that you're looking to book. We're not just limited to booking events at our business hours. We have plenty of wonderful opportunities to do something in the daytime out on our beautiful patio or inside.
And I had my birthday here. That was so amazing. We did the patio, which is just gorgeous. So, I mean, the sun, just watching everything, it's amazing. I have to ask you, what would you say is your favorite part of your job?
Man, there's so many. I really just love what I do. I love hospitality. I love San Diego. I love highlighting what San Diego has to offer. You know, we are a growing, thriving city, but we just still have that approachability, which is what I really just think is so special about San Diego. So I really do like for when you to come in to any of our venues just to feel like family. And you're gonna show up with maybe not knowing what to expect, but you're gonna leave with a really good feeling.
So what hours are you guys open?
So we are open 6 days a week, 5 p.m. every day, Tuesday through Sunday.
Perfect, and we'll have the hours and everything ready for you guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna try one of your cocktails now.
Thank you.
My favorite part, I'm gonna make some drinks with Ty. I'm here with the general manager. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm so excited to be here. So I have to ask you, have you always been into making cocktails?
Absolutely. It's definitely been a passion of mine since I was actually 18 years old. I started more in the wine industry. Now I get to have fun making spirits and cocktails and ultimately just enjoy the hospitality factor.
Well, and what would you say to the viewers that have never been here? Like, why should they come to Cordova Bar?
We're doing something different. You can go anywhere to get a cocktail, right? We pride ourselves in is the hospitality point. We merely want you to come back and hang out with us. So that's why our shirts say, come drink with me, you know? From the quality of our cocktails, the very competitive and approachable price points. We pride ourselves in being a neighborhood cocktail lounge.
I love that, it's so true, I love this. And you're always singing and dancing and just welcoming everybody. So we're gonna make something together. You're gonna teach me how to make a drink today.
Absolutely, you're gonna make it.
So what are we making?
You know what? You said you like that endless summer.
Oh, I love that.
So let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
We're gonna start featuring this local jam So I want you to go ahead and grab a bar spoon of that. Put it right in that tin there.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make this whole thing.
Oh yeah, I'll help you out, okay? So this is Jackie's Jam. This is a raspberry Serrano. Again, another way for us to sweeten up a cocktail using natural, fresh ingredients. And again, local, supporting San Diego small business owners. This is lemon juice.
Okay.
Also local, of course.
And fresh.
We're gonna do 3/4 ounces here. Okay. This is Uncle Ed's Dang Good Vodka. I'm not sure if he said it. This is a hibiscus and jackfruit vodka made with no added sugar.
Which I've never even heard of anything like this.
We're gonna do 1.5 ounces in here. This is an almond flavored tincture. We're gonna do 3/4 ounces here.
Wow, there's a lot in this.
A lot of love.
Yeah.
And that's what we
That's true.
specialize in.
That is true.
Now I want you to add some ice and
Okay.
give this a shake.
Okay, so how much ice?
Fill that up.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then,
See that jam?
yeah. All
Shake
right.
it. Like you want to. Give it some love, I'll help you out.
Now he's gonna show me up. That's so cool. It's so refreshing, this drink too, and it's got like a kick in it. Little kick to it.
It does, and that's the
I
fresh
love that.
Serrano seeds from the jam that we use.
Wow.
And we're not done yet. We're gonna garnish this with a nice lime wheel.
I just love that. I mean, the creation, everything that you do. And like you said, it's so fresh. You can tell that it's not sugary. So good.
Cheers, come drink with us.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks again for joining us. Looking forward to having you back here soon at the Cordova Bar, your neighborhood cocktail lounge. Come have a drink with us. This must be the place. We'll see you soon.
For more information on Cordova Bar and where to find them, you can go to thecordovabar.com. Follow them on Instagram at the Cordova Bar. For more of these stories, you can head over to our website, thepulsesd.com. Make sure you're following us at The Pulse SD for all the behind-the-scenes fun on social media. That's going to do it for today's episode. We'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.